This is a homebrew podcast.
All right, let's take a look at what's been left behind. That halfling cop, Ernest Walker. So many boxes, so many crates. No, common, uncommon. No, I've got most of these. Oh, interesting. It looks like there's an unopened pack here of source cards. I don't think they'll mind if I open this myself. No, looking for the chase card. Pot of Sneed. I wonder what that does. No, plenty of elementals. That's fine. It's a poor imitation of what we are anyway. They got it wrong on this set. My gods. Is this what I was missing? The right hand of Casey Butt. I already have both the legs, the left arm, as well as the head. With this addition, I will finally be able to summon Casey Butt. I will be unstoppable on the Source battlefield. I shouldn't let the rest of the companions see this. They'll surely attempt to get this card from me.
Morning, guys.
What did you got there, guys?
Apologies. No, I was just looking over some of my wares. Don't mind me. Here, I definitely wasn't looking at this stack of source cards.
Oh, is them the source cards that one halfling guy dropped off for you?
Yes, and it's of important note for you to know that none of them seem to be of value, so I wouldn't even look at them at all.
It's very odd and specific of you to be saying that like that.
I have been called both odd and specific, so that is quite relevant, I think, for you to say. Neither of you even play. I'm just going to move these out of the way.
This brand of odd and specific is odd and specific even for you, sir, and I know that means you're hiding something.
Well, apologies. There's something I need to be doing just right here, below the counter.
I haven't been reading the paper this whole time. You know what? He was lying. He's got the right hand of Casey Butt.
You're pulling our leg.
God.
No, it's the right hand. It's not the leg.
Are you holding out on the best cards?
I've been trying to get this collection, this set, for years. You will not pry this from my hands.
Well, I might not, but I think I know someone who would. Nix.
What?
He's got the right hand of Casey Butt.
The what?
You'll never get it from me, Nix. You'll never come inside this store.
Just walk through the door.
Yeah, why are you standing outside for?
To prove something. Listen, why don't you just show me? Because I don't understand what you're talking about.
They're right here on the counter. Just come on in. Take a look.
If I come in the store, will you give it to me?
Maybe.
That's not an answer.
It is an answer. It's just not the one you wanted.
Well, then, Gregory, I have a solution. We'll steal it. Don't worry about it, guys.
I'm shipping these off to have them graded. You'll never get your hands on them.
Oh, so you're shipping them out to the store. Okay, Casey, we will be seeing each other soon. Thank you for everything, and I'm sorry that we're collecting your body parts.
But they're so rare.
Welcome back to Mythcraft, the podcast, the ties that bind. Let's meet our shocked survivors. Alex.
Gregory Arso, here for the shoot? No, don't shoot.
Roger.
Geist. Low behavior from a low organization. I expected more.
Andy.
Nix, did you see that I got shot and then Geist just walked away?
Mal.
Orendo. Molitor's poking their heads up more and more. This ain't good.
And Maggie.
Nia Corheen, this is why you always take a car to your job.
And I'm your MC, Nathan. Let's jump in. Last time on The Ties That Bind, we saw a day in a Geist's life at the Whispering Winds where various patrons such as Ernest Walker visited him. After reconnecting with Pete and Bill, the party begrudgingly agreed to parlay with the Ingots, a gang of hard knocks in the neighborhood to the south of the Cobbler's territory. On the way to talk, the heroes were ambushed by Molitor. They fought off their attackers, but are no doubt rattled by the attack. So we'll zoom back into the misty, soot-stained streets of ash stacks where the party is recuperating after this attack.
Here, this one tried to get away, but I ensured that didn't happen.
Nice shot, mate.
It was just on the edge of range. Hopefully, those other two that got away, they don't get too much information as to who or what they saw.
We should probably not just leave the bodies out in the streets, right?
Over next to where I had popped up behind the one before, are these barrels on there, or are they just on the map?
The map is as you see it. The one thing I would say is the market stalls that you see, those would be rolled up and pushed up against the establishments given the late hour. But otherwise, yeah, there's barrels, there are some broken down push carts. The cobblestones periodically have iron manhole coverings. This is an industrial city. It's got a sewage system and access tunnels and everything below it, so.
Do the barrels have things in them?
Some worthless junk and clutter. They're mostly unused, empty, rotten, rusted at this point. Anything inside them is similarly in a state of disrepair.
For my final question, are they large enough to hold a body?
The ultimate question.
Can you give me a luck check, Rindo?
I can try.
If they're not big enough, I might have a backup.
Ooh, it's going to be a 19.
These barrels are large, old wine barrels. They are large enough for bodies, especially halfling bodies.
I'm going to grab whichever one is closest to me and start carrying it over to one of the barrels.
Here, let me help you.
Kind of try to feel in the pockets to see if there's anything interesting as well.
Take everything. They don't need their clothes anymore either.
Gregory and I will go get the one with the axe. Right, Gregory?
Yeah. He's a big guy. We need to. Let's go take care of him.
Before you two head off, are you all okay?
She just looks down.
Just a little scraped up, but nothing I can't handle.
I was shot twice.
If you're still in pain, come here. Let me assist you.
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Nia, what of you?
I'm just right as rain, Geist. I'll be all right. She's kind of just keeping a little watch in the center area, making sure she doesn't hear or see anybody coming as we are dealing with the bodies.
Could you make an awareness check?
Absolutely. Perceiving, maybe.
Yes, indeed.
For an 18?
With an 18, you are pretty confident that there's no one directly headed in your direction. Back where you came from, you still hear the faint din of people trickling out of pubs and the like. It is around midnight, so these would be people that either, for whatever reason, they're out late on a weeknight, but they're not headed this direction so far as you can tell.
Okay. And that was more the direction that the guy with the axe had been chasing Gregory and us, right? Like they'd be pulling his body from that direction.
Yeah, up north. Right, you're headed to the south. This would be back up north.
All right. So she might just be mindful, be careful, stay in the shadows where you can.
Yeah, okay, sure. Once they get far enough away into the dark up in this back corner, what the fuck just happened?
I was gonna say, what the fuck
You
is
shot
happening?
somebody. I shot somebody. You killed somebody.
We got shot. I killed
Are
somebody.
you okay? Oh my god, are you okay? Are you okay?
I shot his eye out.
It was impressive,
I don't
but it
know.
was terrifying. We can all agree that they're all fucked up,
The
right?
least terrifying part. They're fucked up. Look at you.
No, I mean, like, I'm physically fucked up, but, like, Nia was shooting, like, shadow shit out of her mind, and they were teleporting places, and...
Rendo, just bend them in half and push harder.
Go it.
You just hear, like, the snap of a spine. Oh, my God.
I think we can fit two in this one.
Need to get out of this alive, all right? So I'm just gonna shut down completely and go into being full Nyx mode. You just, keep shooting people with arrows, I guess, if you need to. Do you want my gun?
I'll get a gun. I mean, one of these guys we killed has to have a gun.
I'm gonna try to not kill anybody because I don't want to. There's a dead body right below us. I don't know if I could do
my
this. Gregory.
Apologies. I realized we'd missed one. I'm coming to drag this one away as well.
We got it. We got it.
Everything's handled.
Do you want to take
on
a
3.
foot? I guess.
Something.
Okay. Maybe I'm small. I'll grab the axe and pull on his arm.
Okay, ready. 1, 2.
Can you both make a luck check?
A luck check?
Mhm.
Okay.
18 for Gregory.
22 for Nyx.
Okay. You are able to move the body and the axe with no further issues.
It's the adrenaline, okay?
Aside from your own internal ones.
All right, so serious face. I'm probably going to be mean. I apologize. We just need to survive like tonight, and then we can just get the fuck away from these people.
Now, listen to me this time, Mira. Stay in the back with me.
Yeah, okay. Also, I left Geist in my room alone because I, didn't think anything of it. He probably put something in there, right? Like, we're going to have to search the whole room for bugs and shit because he's not just a shopkeeper, and I had that feeling, and I should have known. And now I'm convinced that he's also just trying to kill us, and Nia's trying to kill you because she threatened. We should talk about this later because actually they're not that far away. Never mind.
Here, take a look at this rifle. Would either of you like to be using it?
You said you wanted a gun.
It's a little big. I guess, yeah, I'll take it.
I did just fine with mine. I hit both of my shots.
I hit without it, but I'll take it.
Geist hands you the rifle and walks away. Back to business. There were still bodies to stuff.
About to say, is everybody yet attended for?
What do we do with this? Is this something...
You've got a battle axe now. Congratulations.
I don't want this.
I'll take it off your hands.
Oh, here you go, Rento. All yours. So I apologize for the whole you thinking I was referring to you as a dog. I wasn't. I really was just meaning you were big and strong, and I wanted you to go first.
It's alright, no offense taken. It happens.
Okay, so here's another body to put in the barrel.
See if we can fit this one in.
I'll find another barrel, don't worry.
You've got the battle axe.
Don't like that.
It's not a bad idea.
Whatever we do, we've got to be quick and get out of here.
Yeah, TikTok.
Do we have a plan for approaching? Are we in Ingot's territory currently?
Yes, you would consider this Ingot's territory.
Well, we're going to have to approach, so I suggest that Nia takes the front because she is the most important person among us, and she's going to be the one that they want to talk to. Nobody important there is going to want to talk to any of us. You are the Truby. And we probably need to discuss and bring up the fact that we got attacked by them on Ingot territory.
Nathan, before we leave this area, can I make some type of intellect roll to see if I'm aware of who the cobblers are, currently most at beef with, who their main, antagonist is, and if there's something that Nia is already aware of, bringing Nia in on this conversation as well.
The rivalry that the cobblers have most right now?
Yeah, if there's something that is most directed they currently have, besides what we know of Molitor, I'm looking for a third party, if they have any additional information or something that's left unsettled.
Things that Geist would know. There's the obvious Molitor one. The Ingots and the cobblers have had ongoing rivalries, and that has led to violence from time to time. It's been almost 2 years since the last time anyone was hurt between the two of them. They've cooperated from time to time. More often than not, they've fought one another. I think you would be aware of the other gangs, the Gold Boots in the northeast of the city, and the Granite Fists, which are mainly from a different city but have a small presence here as well. Gold Boots, I would say, are the other ones that have butted heads with the Cheeky Cobblers. Now, the point that Nia would know, Maggie, and again, you can choose how many people in this party know this, is that with the Severses joining with the cobblers are inheriting the Severses' problems as well. Namely, the McDoverns and the Banginos, both of whom are very powerful old money families, especially the McDoverns right now with the presidential election going on. So that would be the big one that the cobblers are especially worried about.
But this was Molitor v. Ingots, right? Is what that we just got hit by? Or
You just got hit by Molitor. In Ingot's territory.
right.
Do we know it's Molitor? Is it known
Maybe that's
that
why I'm
Molitor
getting mixed up.
wears cool makeup and cloaks when they are out and about?
It is known.
Okay.
There's a look. They wear on Wednesday certain things, yeah.
Right. We wear pink on Wednesdays. The makeup and the cloaks that they were wearing over their three-piece suits are signatures of Molitor.
Okay.
Do the Ingots have any distinguishing markings in that way too that would have
Spiked brass knuckles is their trademark. In the same way that
Okay.
the cobblers have like the cleats, the spiky
Right.
shoes. Yeah, they've got spiked brass knuckles.
Okay.
Is there one of the Molitor, their clothes that would fit me? I want to take their clothes.
Yes, before recording, everyone was complaining that only a couple people have gotten handouts. So I'm giving you all a handout
With every single item they had.
with
Thanks,
every single
Nathan.
item they had.
That's funny.
Beautiful.
Yep, so give me just a second to finish bullet
There
pointing
is.
that, and then I'll drop it in for everyone.
I think any of these pants will fit me.
I don't think you'd want to wear them anyway.
Another
Right.
lore note, this is a very minor detail, but just kind of flavor. Given where this campaign is set in the timeline, I think that paper money is starting to become a thing, just because people are tired of carrying around silver coins everywhere. But silver coins are also still common. So you're going to find 10 coin notes, which directly corresponds to 10 silver coins. Just a lot easier for people to carry around.
You know, throwing these paper bills at me will be much better than the coins that you throw at me on a regular basis.
Right. That's actually what made me think of that. I was like, oh, how would someone collect silver coins as they're trying to dance?
Got a broom.
Told you, it's not make it rain, it's make it hail.
Right. Right.
Broom them off between sets.
Such a good idea.
Well, I don't know about all of you, but I think we have an opportunity here. If we leave some type of implicit calling card from some rival organization, we might be able to confuse whatever trail was led here. Do any of you have any ideas on any symbology or names we can leave here?
I'm sorry, why are we doing that?
Well, it's undoubted that we've made some type of noise. Individuals would have seen individuals on the street. And if we leave some type of calling card, we might be able to put them off our trail, at least for a couple of days.
It's not a bad idea.
Pick a family.
Any family. Just gonna look around and think, Nathan, I meant to send you a list of items in her coat. I did not do that. So I would like to pose an option.
Okay.
May you select maybe a roll to determine whether or not Mia has one of Tinker's extra collars that happens to have little studs on it and almost looks like one of the little brass knuckly things like the ingots would wear with her.
Definitely a luck check.
A luck
High
check,
DC
alright.
luck check.
We're trying to frame the people we're going to go make a deal with?
They don't have to know that we were the ones that framed him. I just don't want anyone to know that it was the cobblers that were here that did all this. Do you see any ingots here that are going to see us leaving it?
No, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
It's a good point. I have to agree with Nyx here on this one.
We're on their territory.
Exactly.
Gregor give Nyx a look to be like, shush, be quiet.
I left
No,
it at
it's a good
home
point.
anyway.
If we pick a third party, we might be able to put both the ingots and Molitor on somebody else's trail. Safer for us.
Who are the people that you pissed off at the wedding, Geist?
Well, I wouldn't say I have the type of expressions or demeanor that rubs everyone the right way, but I don't think anything was worse than usual at the wedding.
You said that you got in trouble with somebody when we were on the dance floor.
Well,
This is your chance.
if I reflect back on this, I got in trouble with you slightly for mentioning my shop too much.
You really do.
You do talk about it a lot, mate.
What?
No, he does talk about his shop a lot.
He's asked me to go there like 6 times now. It's getting pretty ridiculous.
It's been 3 at most, and I think we have more pressing concerns than talking about my shop, which you've continued the conversation, mind you.
You're the one wanting to redirect from getting a name, which I gave you a name, whoever you were in trouble with at the wedding.
Yes, you see the dilemma here. Because if I write something on this barrel now, you understand that I'm keeping something from you. But if I don't write something on this barrel, then I'm missing out on an ideal opportunity. It's quite the situation you've placed me in. We'll turn around at least.
Well, I don't have the collar I thought I would.
All right. She'll turn around while Gregory's still facing that direction.
Gregory has been doing exactly what he and Nyx talked about. He is quiet. He's minding his business. He's letting them decide this. He's going,
Perfect boy.
sure.
It sounds as though a couple drunkards are starting to make their way toward you. You can have a
I
little
said
bit
we
more
had
of
to
a
be
quiet
quick.
conversation.
Decide now, Ghost.
I'm going to quickly scrawl whatever type of familial line, sign, symbol for the McDuverns.
While this has been happening, could I have been trying to fix my jammed gun?
I forgot
Yes,
you broke your gun.
I'm
Yes.
pretty sure you automatically fix it given 10 minutes, so I think you should have time to do that. I'll double check real quick.
Okay.
Catching your breath, so it would take 5 minutes. Your gun works again.
Cool.
We can have a catch our breath.
Yes.
Sweet.
I mean, this conversation has been going on for at least that much. And yes, you're moving around a little bit while you're doing it, but besides breaking backs to make everything fit into the appropriate containers, aside from that, you haven't done any heavy activity.
Nice.
I hate that statement.
And even then, they were halflings. So,
Oh.
These ones were not halflings.
oh, never mind.
Yeah.
They are now.
Never mind. They are now.
Wow.
They're peacelings.
Right. Yeah, the moons are beginning their descent for the evening as the hour is moving past midnight. There's a couple drunkards that are slowly making their way down. It sounds as though they're taking the long way, moving side to side along the road as they're gradually approaching. There's the chittering of a couple rats in the alleyway. Otherwise, it's kind of a blank, quiet night as you're all trying to figure out exactly how to proceed. But I am going to apply a little bit of a pressure, like the night is waning and you've got to get to the ingots and make this deal. Or choose to, the deal is off and like make your way home. That's an option too.
Well, I'm done. You can spin around now. There's no use trying to hide it.
No, I've said I wouldn't look at it, and I'm not going to. Shall we continue?
Yeah, I suppose, Terry on. Which direction were we going again?
Someone make a
going
navigating
north.
check.
She's just walking. We're just walking.
Yeah, that's the alley. That's the alley, Nia. Come back this way.
You're not my dad.
You're gonna walk into a building. Okay.
All right, and after a little more time heading south, deeper into ash stacks, you are able to arrive at the ingots place of business. The hour is late, but they have you would all know this about them. They're one of the organizations that has second and third shifts, so they've got different people working kind of around the clock at different points. They are in possession of a large smelting factory, and so they do a lot of kind of the ironworks that go into the infrastructure throughout the city. The first thing that hits you as you approach is the heat. After the cold and drizzly winter streets, the ingot's home base is fiery and smoky, immediately making you want to shed your outermost kind of winter garb. The smelting factory has enormous vats that melt down raw ore, separate out the dross, and run the remaining molten metal into molds that produce fine, standardized ingots. The ingots themselves are dressed down to accommodate the heat, those that are still here working this hour. Some still wear vests, but most just have several buttons undone on their collared shirts and have their sleeves rolled up to reveal powerful forearms that are accustomed to hard work. Did you want a plan of approach, or are you just like figuring out marching order to try to have a spokesperson out in the front?
Nix would have liked to at least have a plan going and not just.
Oh, I thought we were just going. I thought we were just heading on. You were so ready in the alley. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Maybe we shouldn't have you be the spokesperson.
I'm sorry. I'm a little
this.
hot under the collar. This is why you always take a car. I said it when we were at the building. No one listened to me, but this is why. And going forward, the rest of us, we're going to be in a car every single time if I have my way. Do you understand?
That sounds quite nice.
Yeah, so you're going to check your attitude so that this will go successful now.
Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you. You're very generous. A lot of grace there. Okay. I can walk in the front. But
Well, you shouldn't walk in the front.
I thought I was supposed to walk in the front.
Yeah, you have to have the appearance of importance. Nobody that's that important would work up front. Have you never done this before?
Not really. No, not to this level or extent. I just kind of heard what my brothers were doing.
You should have Arenda or Geist up with you as essentially bodyguards, right? You're important. You have protection.
She's going to take them and just push them in front of her.
All right. And then you have to present yourself as you are and be important and confident. And
Well, that I can do.
Right. You request to speak on behalf of the Trubies. We are here.
All right.
Yeah. You just, tag me in when it goes down.
All right. No, I got this. We can do this. She's going to start to walk and just sort of mumble to herself, how does she know how to do all of this? I don't understand. Shit. All right.
Nix is going to look at Craig and be like, we're doomed. I'm sorry. I'll miss you.
I thought we talked about staying quiet in the back.
I don't want to die. I couldn't just let her go in there.
Okay.
Nathan, as we're walking in, can I get a savoir-faire roll to make sure that I'm fitting the vibe check that we're trying to create for not being too intimidating, but serving as a bodyguard for Nia?
Yeah.
No, because that
the
means I need
vibe-
to roll 2.
The vibe you're going for is just like hired muscle, right?
Hired muscle, but like also just assisting with our clients and bringing them for a conversation. We're not going to look too intimidating, but also don't fuck with us type of energy.
Yeah. I will accept a savoir-faire roll from both of the bodyguards.
Be a 16 for Geist. Sorry, Rendo.
Don't get your hopes up.
Look at that.
Okay, actually, hold on. It's a 15.
Okay.
-4. Oh my god.
Beautiful. You both look the part, and as you were saying, as you were describing Geist, you're here to make sure things go according to plan, but you're not overly aggressive. When they see you enter, each of the ingots in the nearby vicinity reach for wrenches, crowbars, and similar tools. You do see shotguns casually laid out on various work tables, spaced kind of like fire extinguishers. There's a code, there's got to be a shotgun every such and such distance to be sure that nothing goes wrong.
In case of emergency, break glass to get shotgun.
Exactly.
Shoot
That's
glass with
the
shotgun.
energy. That's the energy of this place. Yeah, all of the ingots will just grab whatever club-like tool is nearby and just size you all up. And a foreman or someone who appears to be more in charge of this shift will walk out from kind of the far reaches of the room. You would see him first silhouetted in these trenches of molten ore that glow like lava. And he would approach. He's wearing a nice vest, button-up shirt. Sleeves are rolled up, no coat. It's very hot in here. But he'll just approach and then stand a fair distance away as the remainder of the ingots fan out in kind of a semicircle, giving you a super warm welcome.
Nia's gonna pull a white handkerchief out of her jacket and just sort of, as she's coming into the place, and just sort of wave it subtly, just very subtly, just at ease, gentlemen. Truly, there's no need for anyone.
The foreman will wave his hand, and the ingots will not put their weapons down, but they'll stop like thunking them in their hands like they're ready to go to town. And the leader will say, Bungamet Blackstone, I recognize you lot. A handful of you look familiar. Affiliates of the Shaky Cobblers, yes? What?
Hello.
Yeah, I've seen you before. Somewhere.
Glowing review.
What brings you to our turf at this hour, no less?
You're fine. Sorry, my cat. Like right then, immediately.
How did you come up? How's Tinker?
Go, Tinker! Totally lost our train of thought. Why are we here?
At this hour.
At this hour, no less. Well, it's been a bit of a walk down here, Saw some nasty stuff in the alleys outside.
Why not just take a car?
That is a question I'll ask myself every day for as long as I can think about this night, if I'm being quite honest. Mr. Blackstone, was it? Is that correct?
Bungamet Blackstone.
It's a good name, Bungamet. Is that family name?
Were me grandpa's name, yeah.
Nice. I love that. Bungamet. Everybody, Bungamet. She's gonna poke Geist and Rindo. Bungamet.
Bungamet.
All right. So why are you here?
We're here because we might want to have some business with you, or at the very least, maybe want to know what business you've been hearing about going around in these parts.
Bungamet looks from Nia to the bodyguards flanking Nia on either side, to Nyx and Gregory that are awkwardly shuffling back and forth in the background trying to figure out where to be. And then he'll look back to Nia and he'll say, "You're here to ask about the happenings in this neighborhood. What concern is it of yours?"
My brain has just blanked. Help, Nyx. Somebody else talk to this person briefly.
Sorry. I was distracted. I'm pretty sure I recognize this gentleman over here, which is... hi.
Hello.
Hi. As you said, you recognize me. That's because, yes, I work at Rhonda's. I believe I've seen you there. Very nice to see you. So we're here because the cobblers want to discuss potentially an arrangement moving forward. Did you know that Molitor has come in on your territory?
On whose authority are you, or what makes you say that?
This gunshot in my shoulder when we were walking here.
Yeah. Remember we talked about the alley?
Yeah, I mean, this is why you need cars.
This is why I'm a bit rattled and having to have my friend over here explain things to you. We've been through a bit of commotion.
No shit, that looks pretty nasty. You need bandages or something?
Yes, please,
Something.
actually. And if you have an extra shirt or an extra pair of pants, because there's just blood all over it. I'm surprised you didn't notice. But
Yeah, he snaps at a few of the ingots to
thank
go and
you.
get medical supplies for you.
Nathan,
I
can I get an
appreciate
intuiting at what this Blackstone individual's reaction was at mentioning of Molitor?
Yes, intuiting is great.
It's going to be a 13.
13. So his face tightened from concern. Concern, you're pretty sure... I'll leave it at that with a 13. Concern.
That's fair. Okay.
Not myself, but that is why Miss Nia is here. I don't know if you're aware, she is the new Tribby bride, one of the family. We are looking to
Mazel tov.
discuss. Yes, it was
Thank
a
you.
wonderful wedding. We are looking to speak, obviously, with your family. I don't know you, or I know there's the Dawn, but this is probably not to his level of importance. But if we could speak to somebody that would equate Nia's standing so that proper discussions can be had on whether or not a treaty of sort can be arranged with this new threat coming into both territories of ours.
Well, as you said, I'm not the Dawn. I'm authorized to speak on behalf of me family.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I'm the Dawn's cousin. Sounds as though, Nia, you've married into the family, so you can represent the wishes of the cobblers as well.
I appreciate you taking the time. Is here okay? I don't want to disturb any of your business that you might have to be doing, or is there a better place?
Oh, just step outside so the boys can get back to work. We can hear each other a little better. He will gesture for a couple of the ingot laborers to just join him so that, he's not alone outside with a bunch of strangers.
Mia's gonna grab Nyx real quick before she runs out the door. Thank you. Don't get too far away from me. She's gonna immediately skitter away from you, though. Just
Look at Gregory. Fuck.
Critter's just like, get over here.
She said I have to go.
Rindo, did you hear Nyx mention their place of work like it was casual in a conversation? Because I did, and I'm keeping tally moving forward.
Well, mate, I think there's a bit of a distinction to be made when Nyx's place of business is more commonly frequented. You know what I mean?
Just because I'm an up-and-coming business owner does not mean that I don't have the same rights and privileges of speaking of my establishment.
There's time and a place,
Oh,
man.
they've left us. Come on, we're supposed to be bodyguards.
Oh, shit.
Notably, both of the dwarvish bodyguards that are accompanying Bungamet are now armed with shotguns.
Do you like your shotgun? I've just had a little one, and I'm not
It's
sure if I should
nice.
upgrade.
Looks like a nice weight. Good in the hand, yeah.
Just trying to make casual conversation while we
Wow,
wait for
yeah,
her.
it's a bit rude. It was a bit rude, wasn't it? That he just didn't even respond.
Yeah, they're just stony-faced. They're not really going to do anything to rock the boat where their employer is concerned. They're just going to let Bungamet do all the talking. Cheer up, boys. Be friendly. Bungamet comes up, and they both kind of shuffle. Oh, yeah. It's got a nice grip. Good,
Right, yeah.
stock.
Thank
nice,
you. Your
nice
boys are so
polished wood.
serious.
Yeah, happens when you work in the smelting factory. Third shift.
I can imagine.
For years on end.
It's very dry in here.
Oh.
Makes your voice kind of serious. Come on, lighten up.
Should come to Ronda's more often.
Bungamet will just slap the back of the serious individual. Lighten up, man.
Geist holds up 2 fingers behind his back.
Very good. So, we had a bit of an adventure on our way over here, and we saw some signs that clearly indicated that Molitor seems to be making their way onto your territory. They clearly don't take you very seriously. That's sort of what I'm gathering from it. So, I think correct me if I'm wrong for my friends here, because, we come as a group, as it were. We would like to pose some sort of an arrangement wherein maybe we could, cobblers look out for you, you look out for us. Sort of a equal, beneficial, what's the word? Mutually beneficial. That's the
An
word.
alliance, is that the word?
Alliance.
That's a good word.
That is a good word. I like that. You see, mostly what I've been hearing about lately is marriage. That's all I've got on my brain. But alliance would probably be a bit better, wouldn't it?
A civil union.
I like that too. Although civil union, they tend to end in divorce, and that's not what I'm looking to do. What with, I'm a woman of faith. I don't know if you are, Mr. Bungamet. But if a civil union's more comfortable for you, sure.
I feel like I'm getting a little lost in the metaphors. I don't see how my personal outlook on religion has anything to do with this arrangement, given that it's not actually anything legally or spiritually binding we're discussing here.
You don't take your business seriously as like a spiritual matter, sir?
Oh, that's not what I said, is it? I said it's not legally binding.
Oh, I heard you say something about the seriousness of it, though, too. See, I take my business and my husband's business very seriously. And you seem like the type that do as well, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm coming across...
you seem like a riot at parties.
She's great. Wonderful.
You're fun. I like you. I like you, Bungamet. I wish you'd have been at our wedding now. You weren't at our wedding, were you? Oh, God, I
where
just
was the
realized that
invitation?
probably sounded very rude. My husband, if I'm being quite honest, was totally and completely in charge of it. His mother is a bit of a pill. Nevertheless, lovely woman. We'll have you round for dinner soon. But
Stacy,
first-
yes. That's...
Yes.
I've had me dealings with her. She shot me once.
That
Really?
sounds like Stacy. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
like Stacy.
You know what I'm talking about then, yeah. All right.
I know exactly what you're talking about, yes. So perhaps you and I could help each other out in some ways because,
Aye, that's the sense I'm getting. I mean, shots happen, bygones are bygones, you give some, you take some. That's just the way of life in Dirge. Anyway,
Geist is
so
just nodding.
Molitor moving in on our territory, it sounds, from what I hear through the grapevine, my condolences, the same has happened with the cobblers of late.
Aye.
And certainly there's something to that old adage, the enemy of my enemy, right? Now, we've been friends, we've been adversaries, there's no reason we couldn't be friends again. Let me say this. What is it that the cobblers and their affiliates, their bedfellows, shall we say, can offer to the ingots? And I'll say from the start, something the ingots can offer, of course, is, well, ingots, right? It's kind of in the name. You want us to provide you with guns, bullets. We can easily manufacture extras on the down low. You need a space for storage. We have ample warehouse space. We can set aside some method of deriving how you store goods. If you want a hideout in a warehouse, etc., etc. We can offer space. We can offer iron. Those are two easy offerings that I can make to you. But I'm curious what you feel you bring to the table as the cobblers, as the troupies plus.
These are all very good offers. These are not bad offers at all. Remind me, Nathan, did my husband and or any of my in-laws give me any indication of what I had to offer for these people if I made it
They
to
did
the table?
not. They threw you
Wonderful.
into the deep end.
Oh, wonderful. You know, I come from an old family, and one of the things that my father and grandfather always taught me was sometimes the best negotiations is where you just meet somebody where they're at. So you've told me what you have to offer. Let me ask you this. What would you like for me to offer?
I would answer that question on behalf of me cousin and trust that you will make your own requests in this spirit of cooperation. Things that would be very beneficial for the ingots would include, well, the cobbler's cause. I've been there a few times in discussions such as these, and I have noticed that they have excellent waterfront property, including private docks. Of course, these docks are not large, but they are docks nonetheless. They offer access to the rivers, ways into and out of the city. That would be very beneficial for us, easily.
Aye.
Additional spaces in which we can operate, obviously not trying to run our businesses in your territory, nothing of that sort, but having meetings, placing dead drops,
Certainly.
you know, areas in which we can conduct business that doesn't interfere with your own collection of funds, protections, things
Sure. I definitely think that latter one is possible. And as for the dock, are you wanting your own personal or just convenient permanent access?
The latter. We'll go about procuring our own barge.
Probably arrange that as well, I would think. I can't promise that would be on one of the larger ones, so it would have to be a small barge, whatever it is, but depending on what kind of business you have coming through, and perhaps if you're willing to cut in our dock workers at that particular area, we could start to see
A convenience fee.
bigger boats needing to come through to support, going to bigger docks, etc., etc. Think about it as a long-term investment.
And speaking of long-term investments, suppose we do throw in together in opposition to this Mulator. Obviously, Mulator has quite a bit of territory as well.
Aye.
Are we looking to... what is the nature of opposition that you foresee? Is this shore up our own defenses? Is this scorched earth? He perks up a little bit when he says that.
I think I know which one you would like it to be. I'd say that we would be convinced with just sort of shoring up our defenses, but there's no love lost there for me if it's scorched earth.
Then suppose that we oppose alongside you, Mulator, and suppose that this series of events leads to a reassignment of Mulator's territory. Perhaps entirely, perhaps only some of their territory is taken. The control over this new territory, I am willing to defer specifics until we get the Dons to sign off on anything, but what I would propose is consider the manpower that each group puts forward. If there's a firefight that is primarily ingot, then we should get the rewards of that. Provided that several battles lead to a protracted war that leads to the eradication of Mulator, we split the territory as makes geographical sense. You keep the north, we keep the south.
Certainly.
Although we may take a little bit more of the north if we put more of our own lives at stake, and vice versa.
Aye, of course, that would only be what is fair, and I'd say the same for any just immediate dealings of, whatever might immediately be found at a setting or whatever. The percentages should be divvied out as such. I think that's
Spoils
reasonable.
sport.
Of course.
Well, I can shake to this tentatively. I see no reason that we can't proceed believing that all of this is in order. Of course, I will run it past Don Durrell. You would do the same with Pete. Send him my condolences as well. Terrible thing.
Of course. Thank you. Yes, it was a terrible thing.
And Nia, yes?
Yeah.
Might I have a quick word, negotiator to negotiator, away from the eyes and ears? Away from the ears. Can leave everyone watching us so that you are not fearful of any assassination attempts. I know those have been going around. Just a quick word.
Just gonna look at Rindo and Geist height-wise and be like, you get 7 feet. That's as far as she'll walk away from them.
Very well, I will speak in hushed tones. Now, I would like to ask everyone who is not Maggie to make an awareness check at perceiving, or eavesdropping, actually. Eavesdropping is even more relevant.
Good, I was going to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Only a 9 for Geist.
Okay.
That's a 22 for Rendo. I would like the
Nice.
audience to know that I've rolled 3 19s in a row on the die.
Whoa.
Nice.
What is that, a 1 in
It's a
8,000?
dirty 20 for Gregory.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, it's a 7 for Nyx.
Okay, so Rindo and Gregory are able to overhear this. Andy and Roger, I'm going to ask you to go headsets off. I'll ping you when it's time. Okay, so Bungamet will, and the height, he's a dwarf, so this is helpful as well. Like, the voices are low in multiple ways. And Bungamet will say to Nia, listen, how well do you truly know the Truby family?
I know my husband, as well as any wife might know. The rest of the family, I know as well as my family arranged it, we'll say.
Very well. And their reputation, I want you to be aware. Just remember, in my dealings with them over the years, they've adhered to a code of honor. I respect them. But they put their family first. You have married into it. That don't necessarily make you one of them.
I appreciate that bit of insight, Bungamet, I really do. And I should just let you be assured to know that I share some of those values myself.
That to say, I do believe I know a little bit about where the name Koryadin actually comes from and what it actually means. You want reliable, honest support. Merely keep your options open.
Absolutely. And she's just going to, from there, kind of like, do that thing where people sort of like break away from somebody like they're laughing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but that's where I
it was
knew
great to
you
meet you,
from.
yes.
And your
That's
and your
right,
mom,
yes.
she's
I
been doing
thought
well.
That we had met once before.
Yes,
Yes,
oh
thank you.
my
I
goodness.
appreciate it.
Do give her my best. You know, she was such a dear when I was coming up to me and my brother's lot. Very good. Well, I believe that is going to be all that I know. Well and good for the evening, Mr. Bungamet. You've been a gem, a diamond. The rest of you, are you all doing well? And she's gonna just kind of look at everybody, sort of like, hello.
Rendo flicks his ears a little bit.
I've just been looking at the guns. Do you think they'd make me one?
I bet we could probably get that arranged, right?
We'd
sir?
love to make you a gun. Yes, happy to. And I do have to say, hearing Rhonda's making the connection, you're a great dancer. I'll be back to Rhonda's at some point.
I was a little bit of insulted. I wasn't going to show it that you didn't notice at first, but
It's the whole you don't recognize someone unless you're
it's
in
true.
the location.
I'm wearing pants.
God,
It's a weird thing. By the way, is this done, or are we still going to get those clothes so I don't have to walk back covered in blood?
Oh yes, we should probably get you stitched up.
Yeah, spare clothes,
bandages.
unfortunately, we don't have here, but bandages we can do.
Okay. You know what? Can't pick and choose.
Before she goes away, Kurt will be like,
What?
she's gone.
Oh, wait. Gregory, what? I need to get bandages.
Okay, yeah, go do that. Yeah.
Are you okay?
It's very warm in here.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have worn pants. I don't know why everybody was so needy of this. It was completely unnecessary. I could have worn a dress and been much more comfortable.
So anyone who was shot and wants medical attention can get it. Mechanically, this isn't going to do anything because the one of you who actually had ongoing side effects from getting shot had magical healing, which negates them. Cosmetically, you're able to clean up. You don't look so deathly. You don't...
Nyx just doesn't want to walk all the way back
Right.
with gunshots.
You don't look like you're on the brink of death anymore.
Oh, that I was going to ask. Is there any way we could get a car back or some sort of guided ride just for our
Or we
own
could
peace
just
of mind?
walk. It's the chances of it happening twice.
Well, I think much higher now that you've said that aloud.
Or I guess we could just walk. Just
I don't like cars, but yeah, we can go in a car. Sure, this is as safe as walking.
It's at least faster.
Not if you crash and die.
Are you scared of the cars, Nix?
I don't like them. They're so new and
They're like horses on steroids. Does that not just give you a thrill?
I would rather have a horse on steroids, I'm gonna be honest.
Why not both, though?
This makes sense to me. You don't like doing or trying new things, going new places.
I go new places all the time.
Back to the drawing board then.
So I don't think there's all-night cabs at this point, and the ingots certainly don't have a like private car that are capable of safely, like confidently lending out to you right now.
We
You
can
are
walk.
you're close to the Ash Stacks train station, but it would significantly overshoot where the Cobbler's Cause is. So you're still walking the same direction. It's just through Cobbler territory or through Ingot territory.
We'll walk, it'll be
Plus
fine.
the whole transit period of,
Yeah,
of
no. We'll
going
just
through the
soon
whole
walk.
train process. Yeah.
We'll just walk. It's fine.
There, I can at least provide us a little bit of additional lighting. And Geist is going to like shake out his sleeves, and a number of fireflies just come out of his sleeves, begin to fill an area as he cast Glimmer. And so now we have a larger area of dim and bright light surrounding us as we're walking through the streets to hopefully cast into some of the alleys that we
Just
pass.
have those inside.
Master Geist. That's lovely.
I didn't know you could do that.
They hate being kept in there.
What's the radius on that?
It is 20 foot radius of just dim light, right? So it'll give us
Oh,
20
okay.
foot of dim, not quite bright, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
It's very
Well, I don't
nice.
often find myself walking the streets this late, but when I do, it's better to see around the nooks and crannies before you get there.
Perfect. Can I have each of you make a luck check? Fortuity is fine here.
I believe it was a 9
Oh,
for
we're all
Nia.
rolling so bad.
It was only a
Yes.
9 for
11
Nick.
for Gregory.
It's a 13 for Geist.
It's a 7 for Rendo.
These are bad luck rolls.
They are. The DC collectively was 5, so you're fine. It's a good time to roll poorly.
Wow.
You are able to safely make it back to Rhonda's rendezvous, and from there you can choose, each of you, whether you, I mean, for Nyx it's going to be the same, but for each of you, whether
I'm
you disperse
leaving.
back to your place of residence or if you hang out here for the rest of the night.
Gregory's hunkering down after that night. He doesn't want to go back out until it's daylight outside.
Are any of the Truby main guys there, or is it just like usual, like standard evening at Rhonda's fair?
Late night, weeknight at Rhonda's, there'd be a handful of clients. There'd be a couple. There'd probably just be one dancer at this late hour. And Tristan's off duty tonight. She had the late shift last night. So, people that Nyx would know, no one noteworthy that all of you would know.
Okay. Nia might grab a drink, but then probably shortly head back to her place.
Geist is actually going to stay here this evening if there's an opportunity to do that. There is a thought that I do not think he wants to risk heading back to the shop tonight after who he's been seen with and what he's been doing, just in the case that there is still a trail. And so he's going to stay here this evening if it's an opportunity.
I'm sure if he asked, Nix would just put him in a room.
Right. Nyx would know which rooms are unoccupied and unlikely to be, checked.
As soon as we're, out of relative earshot from everyone, Rendo would try to stop Nia for a second. You doing all right, miss?
I'm peachy keen, Brendo. Are you doing all right?
Yeah, you handled it conversating real well, just making sure you're okay.
Yeah. I'm fine. Thank you.
Don't want to overstep my bounds. Just want to, check in, make sure things
Sure.
are okay.
I appreciate that. I don't think Nia's ever had someone ask, genuinely if she was all right before, and so she's just a little bit taken aback by the entire experience. I'm fine, thank you. And she's just gonna kind of keep walking in the direction of her place.
He'll wait a few paces before keeping that distance behind.
Before Nix goes to bed, she's gonna search her whole room for a bug.
Okay.
And by that, I mean she's gonna search 15 out of her 200 books, and the rest of the books are going in the bathroom with the door shut until she can search them as well.
Okay.
Damn teak wood. I can't stand it.
if you want to actually roll for that. But that's what she's doing. She's convinced Geist is trying to spy on her now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since he stayed.
What's the end game? Why does he want to spy on her? In her
I don't
mind.
know.
That's the secret.
He's been trying to convince her to go to his shop. And suddenly he's not just a shopkeeper. He could fucking kill everybody and hunt people down. So she's just like, okay, who knows what the fuck he is? I'm gonna look for a bug in my room.
Fair.
The fact that there's typing back and forth makes me feel like
Yeah, right.
I was ordering something on Uber Eats that to arrive when we're done.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
to search for a bug, I'll have a luck check and an intellect check and an awareness check. We'll actually do all three. Because I mean, searching
Okay.
for a bug is a process. Like, I always think of
absolutely.
the scene in Better Call Saul where Mike takes apart his entire car to find the bug.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I said she'll do some, and then the rest is just going to be locked
Yeah.
in the bathroom.
right.
Okay, can I do Fortuity for luck?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll start there. That's only a 14. And then you said intellect?
Yes.
Okay. That's a nat 20.
Ooh.
Okay.
And then awareness? So that's a 16. So that's a 14 luck, nat 20 intellect, 16 awareness.
Okay, so from the 14 luck, you find an actual bug, like a ladybug.
Oh, it's so
Um,
adorable. Out the window you go.
Straight into the brick wall.
No.
A bird comes down.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Right.
It's just my nut.
From the crit with your intellect, you think, okay, if there is a bug in any of these books, they should all be safe in the tub. And like as you're leafing through them, just kind of like shaking to see if anything falls out. If any of them you don't find anything there. You're fairly confident that there aren't any in the books, but better safe than sorry. And from the 16 awareness, you notice the absence of something. There is no longer a teakwood candle smell. It seems that it has subsided. That
Thank
that
God.
your room has aired out sufficiently. You check under your rug, under that one loose floorboard where you stash your tips, under the bed, like in the mattress, you don't find anything.
She's still not confident because she's paranoid right now. So all the books are staying in the bathroom.
And briefly, before she does, was this the first time that Nyx was shot in her life?
Yes.
Yeah, so let's dig into that a little bit. You know, think about any of the grittier, more down-to-earth street-level superhero stories where like Daredevil or the Punisher like getting cleaned up after a fight. Show me the more human, or I mean she's an elf, but show me the mortal side of Nyx recovering after the most intense fight that she's ever had in her life.
I have a question before that.
Okay.
Geist's level of healing, what would have that done to a gunshot?
We'll make this rule. If at some point in the future I introduce cursed bullets, they may not play by this rule.
Of course.
If. When.
Right. What a strange thing to say.
He says with a smile.
My point is that the healing, like the superhero healing, where the bullet gets spit out and it's completely closed?
Yes.
Or is this...
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Magical healing, if the bullet is lodged in you, which it was, that's why you had the side effects. The magical healing does the whole, like, it pops out of your body thing. So you've got, like, the blood loss, the wound that if it hadn't been dressed, there was, like, the potential that it might get infected or whatever.
Okay, so still open wound, but no.
Right. And it's sufficiently clean, you've had a medical kit on it.
Yeah. So I think once Nyx is alone and she's searching for this bug, that's the start of her panic. As she's searching through her room and tearing it apart, she's, oh my gosh, what happened? What just happened? What the fuck just happened? I shot somebody. There were dead bodies. They were snapping people in half. What am I into? And she's just hyperventilating and starting to freak out. I think she grabbed a bottle of vodka or booze from the bar on her way in here, and she just opens it up and as she's pouring this booze on her open wounds, trying to sterilize them, and all of this just comes crashing down at the same time. I really think for Nyx, the struggle right now is more mentally than physically, because physically she's fine. Geist healed her, but mentally, she hasn't dealt with this before. So I think Nyx just cries. She just sits on the floor in this disarray where it's usually so perfect, everything having a place, and just cries. She'll wrap herself up in a blanket. She'll probably grab one book out of the bathroom, a book her mom gave her when she was young and has been read to her many times, and just clutches that to her chest as she falls asleep on what's now probably a bare mattress in the middle of the floor, just hoping that sleep comes sooner so she can forget what's going on right now.
And what is Geist doing tonight?
I think, regardless of the cold, hard exterior gunning a man down in the street, I think he knows what it looks like when somebody has seen that type of death for the first time. And I think deep down, he's remarkably concerned about both Nyx and Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
And so a little bit later that evening, I think he's been pacing back and forth in his temporary room and eventually makes it down the hallway, knows where Nyx's actual room is because he was there earlier today, and comes up and just lifts a hand up to the door. And I can't help but imagine that I hear Light crying. And I think he's going to choose to not go in, because I think that would only make whatever this relationship is worse at that moment, and then head back to his space.
As Nyx and Geist are each having their own times of reflection, recovery in Rhonda's rendezvous, let's turn to Gregory. Do you leave or do you stay here tonight?
He's staying at Rhonda's for sure.
Okay.
After everything, he wants to stay inside until it's bright out again. He doesn't want to be anywhere outside until there's some sort of safety, which would be the daylight for him right now.
What is his experience as he's processing everything that's happened tonight?
Yeah, he'll make his way to whichever room Nyx kind of pointed him to. And he is just restless. Every time he closes his eyes, he just sees himself shooting the arrow again, and it just going into that guy's face, his eyeball just popping out. It's like, no pun intended, the image of that is just like keeping him awake. He just can't get it out of his head. And every time he just closes his eyes, sleeps for 5 minutes, just the reoccurring image pops in his head. He just wakes up in a cold sweat every single time. And he's nervous, he's shaken up, he's scared, and he's at a loss. He somehow got thrown into this group, and now he's getting shot at, and his best friend is getting nearly killed right in front of him. He's killing people now. He never thought he would ever have to be this kind of violent with people before in his life, and now within 24 hours, everything that he's done in his life, like so many things have changed. He's trying to collect himself, and his head is just swimming with so many thoughts that have happened and so many things that have happened, but mostly what's keeping him awake is that image of him shooting that guy in the face with his arrow.
Yeah. Turning to Rindo, are you staying with the rest of the party? I guess I suppose that kind of depends on Nia's answer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's turn to Nia first.
I had imagined Nia having a couple of drinks, and when she realized that none of the immediate, like, Truby people were there, she would head back to their place and try to meet up with Sheldon again.
Yeah. Rindo would be in tow?
Mhm.
Okay. So the two of you make it back to the Cobbler's Cause. It's very late, but Nia, you know your way around at least your building, the one where your apartment is in. So you pretty easily make it to your room. Sheldon is awake. It looks like he's still wearing his suit. His shoes are still on. It looks like he's been trying to doze, but has not had an easy time of it. He hears the door open and he bolts up. Oh, it's you. I'm so glad you're all right. I mean, I assumed I would feel otherwise, but I wasn't sure. I couldn't have.
Yeah, I'm all right. It was not what we anticipated it to be, but I think we're gonna be in an okay place with the ingots. Honestly, I just need a drink and a bath, and I need to go to bed. It's been a really, really hard one.
Of course. All right. I'll draw you that bath right now. Hello, Rindo.
Hi.
Love, did you get scared at all?
You mean, tried not to, but yes, I was worried about you, if that's what you're asking. I know you can handle yourself.
I mean, like, and she's gonna, like, again, because Rindo's right there, doesn't know what all he is aware of, and so she's just gonna kind of, like, look at her wrist and be like, did you feel scared? Like, she's still trying to understand what exactly all the implications of what they can feel between each other, I guess, are.
Oh, no, I can't say that I did, truthfully.
Good. That's good. I'm glad.
We'll talk
sorry,
tomorrow. I'll get you that bath.
She's gonna go,
I
just, like, completely ignore Rindo, go get a drink.
Yeah.
I don't need to be here. Sorry.
We'll get you in the spare bedroom, Lindo.
Yeah, you can. Down the hall, on the left.
I think we'll leave each of the heroes there in their various ways of trying to unwind, trying to process the events of the evening, the first shootout on the streets of Dirge in this campaign. We'll check in with everyone bright and early the next day, next week. This has been The Ties That Bind. Jump into our Discord, discord.gg/mythcraft, to discuss this episode. Go to patreon.com/quasi-real-publishing to check out a variety of subscription tiers. And until next time, keep crafting those myths.
Here's what's in the news this week. For major crimes, we've got Angela Holmes, Daniel Trout, I think they robbed a bank, David Roroff, Jesse Fishgrab, Corey Griffin. They were the drivers, for sure. Luke McWilliams, Michael, and Porterhouse, the shooters. Definitely the shooters. I know that for sure. I saw it with my own eyes. Ryan Scripta, Sunshine Castleford, and Blair. I think you were the planners. I think you were behind the whole thing. And in petty crimes this week, we've got Trisha Daniels, Entertaining, Darren Wood, and Lennox Valkyrie. I don't know. You guys saw it, you didn't report it. I had to do the reporting. You guys didn't help me at all. But you did help us. Thank you very much.